friends and neighbors. I'm a Brit in progress. Welcome to the UK. Oh, kitten. Hello, friends and neighbors. I'm a Brit in progress. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be being a little bit lazy because it's kind of a lazy day outside. Today's video may also be periodically interrupted by the Mighty Outlaw. Aw, look at this one. Isn't she cute? So she may get frisky and try to stand up and get in my face. Today, I figured we'd have kind of a slow day, kind of a chill day, because again, it is rainy, it is cold. I thought today we could jump on the Reddit bandwagon, because that's how I'm feeling. This is kind of embarrassing to say, but I've never actually used Reddit, so I'm not 100%... Oh, there she goes. Outlaw's gone. So I'm not 100% sure how it works or how to interact with it, which makes me sound fucking ancient, but whatever. I've joined a lot of subreddits, and one of them is the British Problems subreddit. And I figured we'd go through British problems, maybe talk about a couple, see if I can relate to any of them after being here for over a year. And I also found British successes, which I guess is the opposite of British problems. And we'll go through those and see if I can identify with any of those. So let's go to Reddit. The very first thing that shows up here on British problems, the first British problem that comes up is... It doesn't matter where you are, how fast you're going, or if you're speeding, there's always some twat in an Audi S3 swerving behind you impatiently, waiting to pass you aggressively at the worst possible opportunity. So I do identify with that, even though I don't drive here currently. The first time I came over here to visit, I did rent a car and drove all over the north of England, and driving on the motorways here is a very different experience to driving on highways in the US. And there is always some jerk, no matter how fast you're going or what lane you're in, that is just being a complete asshat on the motorway and doing exactly this. So I remember this from the first time I was here. Knowing what object you need and whom to acquire it from, but being unable to phrase it more eloquently than get the thingamajig from the thingy. So I identify with this, but probably for a different reason, and that's because the first restaurant that I ever worked at when I started my career did what we call blah blah speak, and it is this thing where everyone in the kitchen would invariably communicate with some version of, hey, can you do the blah blah with the blah? Or something to that general effect. So I understand where this person's coming from because I've dealt with it in my professional career. So this one's interesting. It says, feeling okay with being called mate, but finding it mildly patronizing to be called chap or pal. So I can kind of see what they're coming from here, because it does, like, maybe it's because I'm American, but if somebody said, hey chap, I would feel like they were mocking me in some way. And I'm not sure why that is, but it just sounds mocking. And maybe a little bit condescending. And pal, I kind of feel the same way too, because there's all kinds of, like American movies where there's a fight that starts out with like, hey pal, like that kind of thing. Usually it's an aggressive start to a conversation. And by conversation, I usually mean fist fight. So I can kind of agree with what they're saying here. Mate is like it's a nice thing. It sounds good. It doesn't have a negative connotation. Okay, let's hop over to British successes and do 3 of these, and then we'll be done for the day. Oh, here we go. I can finally keep my bag on the seat next to me on the bus and not seem like a cunt. While I don't carry a bag generally or use the bus because I hate buses, I can definitely see where they're coming from as far as like trams are concerned, because I have used the trams quite a lot in the past. So if I were still commuting back and forth to work with the current climate of things, I would definitely not feel bad about setting my bag in the seat next to me and not letting anyone sit there. I definitely see where they're coming from with this. because I don't like people being close to me even before the current situation, as I'm sure nobody does on public transport. Here's one. This is actually, I have this problem all the time. Managed to open a packet of bacon without using a knife, which I understand because the way that they package bacon here is really annoying to get open. The whatever the adhesive is that they use to secure the plastic around the actual bacon is a nightmare to peel off. And also I've noticed that they don't, like, I don't know if this is a UK thing or what's up with this, but they really don't seem to like resealable packets. So, like, you buy a big packet of bacon, right? And you just, gonna have a couple of bits of bacon for breakfast or something. And you can't reseal the packet, like, after you open it to get your bacon out. Like, you have to transfer it from that packet into a resealable vessel of some description. Like, why? Like, in America, when you get a thing of bacon, like, everything has a resealable Ziploc-y thingy on it. Like, so you don't have to, you just have the one bag or whatever it is. I don't know why they do that here. It's really annoying. Oh, here we go. We're definitely going to talk about this one because it's going to make some Americans angry. One says, "Bravo NHS," that's the National Health Service. "Stomachache Wednesday. Called 111 Thursday." 111 is like an emergency services number that you can call where they'll give you advice from an actual practicing medical professional. "Admitted to the hospital. CT scan at 3 a.m. Tested negative for COVID. Had an appendectomy Friday morning. Home that evening. Total cost £4.50 for the Uber. All within the midst of a pandemic." That is amazing. So they didn't have to pay for anything, like, at all. For the most expensive part of their trip to the hospital was paying for their freaking Uber. That's crazy. £4.50 to be in the hospital for multiple days, have a CT scan, get a COVID test, and have their appendix removed. That's crazy. Like, how can Americans, like, how do you say that's bad? And I don't want to turn this into a political video, but how do you argue with that? They didn't have to pay anything up front to get their care. How do you have a problem with this? So, definitely a win. Definitely a win. That was interesting. That was fun. And just reading through all the other ones that I didn't pick is just super interesting. I'm going to have to mess around with Reddit more. So, thank you for watching. Oh, real quick before I go, I do want to say I'm sorry for a string of recent problems with video uploads. There's something strange has happened in the rendering process, I think. And I think in one video there was an instance where the picture was off center. I cropped that out with the YouTube editor. And then on the last video, the politics video, which I've now taken down for the time being, that video had a problem with the audio that wasn't there when I did the final watch through before rendering. So I guess I'm going to have to watch the video again post-rendering to see if that's where this is happening or what's going on. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you for your patience, and I promise it won't happen again. Unless it does. But I'll try not to. So, like, subscribe, comment, let me know. It really helps out when you do it. And I will see you when I see you.